few people who embody the rags to riches stories better than Leon "Rocky" Edwards. Starting with absolutely nothing, Edwards has managed to claw his way to the top, which came with a shocking KO of the former pound-for-pound champion Kamaru Usman. Since then, Edwards' stock has shot through the roof. However, he has maintained his humble nature as he enjoys the fruits of his labor. As Leon famously said after winning the world title, "Look at me now!" That's what we intend to do as we take a look at Leon Edwards' lifestyle and net worth. Number 10. Leon Edwards' early life. Born on August 25, 1991, Leon Edwards spent the first 9 years of his life in Kingston, Jamaica. There, he would share a wooden shack with a zinc roof with his father, mother, and brother. Edwards described the house as just one room, as it was a kitchen, living room, and bedroom all in one. Him and his family often slept together on a single mattress, but that also happened to be the life of most people that Edwards knew growing up, so he didn't think of it as poverty. He grew up around an environment filled with crime and drugs, from which he was somewhat protected because his own father was involved in these questionable activities. As a kid, Leon saw everything from drug deals to shootouts to even killings. His father would end up leaving Jamaica when Leon was 5 in order to set up a life in England. So when Leon was 9 years old, his father was able to move the whole family to Aston, England. But that was just another crime-ridden neighborhood. So the geography had changed, but the environment stayed the same. Number 9. Gang activities. Leon grew up around gang violence where popular gangs such as the Johnson Crew and the Burger Bar Boys were running rampant. Because there was no escape from such activities, Leon naturally ended up becoming affiliated with this lifestyle. This is what Leon had to say about his younger days. "My crew was involved with fights, robberies, and stabbings. We sold some drugs, we smoked weed and drank a bit. I was arrested a few times for fights and having a knife. The constant fighting is what earned Leon his nickname, Rocky." However, when Leon was 14, his life completely changed when his father was murdered at a nightclub. Can you guys name some other fighters who successfully managed to turn their lives around for the better? Go ahead and comment down below. Number 8. How he started MMA. It is clear to see where Leon's life was headed if he had stuck around with the groups he was surrounded by. His mother was well aware this type of life had no future. So once the family moved to Birmingham, they happened to come across a gym called the Ultimate Training Center. Leon's mother insisted that he join the gym as an outlet for his aggression and love for fighting. This way, he wouldn't have to fight in the streets any longer. Although Leon had never heard of MMA at that point, he quickly fell in love with the sport. He started training 2 or 3 times a day, and in just a couple months, he was teaching classes at the gym so that his mother would no longer have to pay for his classes. Leon started his amateur career just 8 months into training, after which he won a tournament where he fought 4 times in just one day. Number 7. His family. Leon is considered a very private person. Even in interviews, he comes off as someone who keeps his cards close to his chest. So it's not surprising that very little is known about his personal life. But what we do know is that he is in a relationship and has a son named Jason Edwards who is 6 years old. Edwards also has a brother, Fabian,
no one mentioned that I had a brother,
who he helped bring into the MMA world and currently holds the record of 10-2, and is fighting under the Bellator banner where he just KO'd MMA legend Lyoto Machida. Number 6. Career achievements. Edwards currently has a record of 20 wins with 3 losses. Those wins include 7 KOs and 3 submissions. He submitted Wayne Murray to win the Bama Welterweight Championship, which he defended once more before vacating the belt in order to sign with the UFC. He holds the record for the 6th fastest finish in UFC history when he KO'd Seth Baczynski in just 8 seconds. It's also the 2nd fastest finish in welterweight history. Of course, the crowning achievement of his career came recently at UFC 278, where he finally got his hands around welterweight gold. But more on that one in a little bit. Number 5. Various sponsorships. Rocky Edwards is managed by Paradigm Sports, who have the likes of Conor McGregor on their roster, so it is safe to say the management group knows what they are doing when it comes to bringing in paychecks from companies outside of the UFC. Edwards is one of the brand ambassadors for Monterex clothing, which create both leisure and athletic apparel for people all over the world. He also regularly works with the sports betting site BetOnline, where he gives his insights on the upcoming fights along with who he believes will win. Prior to his recent bout, he also teamed up with Conor McGregor's whiskey company Proper 12, as well as partnering with the NFL chain Block Asset to sell NFT and social tokens. But stick around to find out how all this sponsorship money translates to his net worth. Number 4. Fight pays. Edwards had a long climb up the welterweight ladder, and his paychecks reflect this reality. As for his very first fight in the UFC against Claudio Silva, he only earned $8,000. When he fought Kamaru Usman for the first time, his pay was a measly $17,500. He would have to wait 4 years before he headlined an event and earned himself six figures, as he was paid $105,000 for beating Cowboy Cerrone. He would hover around the $100,000 to $120,000 range for the next several fights, which included 2 main event spots. Leon would get his first major break when he matched up with superstar Nate Diaz at UFC 263. For his efforts, Leon took home $220,000. And finally, for his most recent title-winning performance, it is believed that Edwards earned upwards of $400,000 plus a $50,000 performance of the night bonus. His second bonus since his 8-second KO win back in 2015. Number 3. Social media presence. Although Leon has been underrated and undersold by the UFC promotion for several years, he has managed to garner more than 190,000 Twitter followers. On the platform, Edwards often posts interview footage, behind-the-scenes looks of his camp, and him interacting with his fans. While on Instagram, Edwards has a growing following of more than 630,000. There, Edwards shows us glimpses of his training, more of his personality and humor, and more recently, him touring around with his shiny new gold belt. Number 2. Beating Kamaru Usman. After being in the UFC for 8 years, Leon finally got his shot at the UFC belt at UFC 278. He faced off with his former rival Kamaru Usman, who held a win over him. Usman was on a legendary win streak, which included 15 straight in the UFC, the most in welterweight history, and just one shy of tying the all-time record in the UFC. He had etched his name among the greatest to ever do it, and was considered the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. When the fight started, Edwards would break Usman's 100% takedown defense record in the first round. However, that would be the only success that Leon would see for several rounds after he continued to get controlled by Usman. The turning point came after one of Edwards' coaches gave him a speech straight out of a movie, which fired him up and refocused him.
Come on then, what's wrong with you? You're too now you gotta pull the out of fire!
And with just 56 seconds left in the fight, Edwards landed one of the greatest head kicks in UFC history and dethroned Usman. Leon would then become the first ever Jamaican-born UFC champion. So what is the most shocking KO in MMA history? Comment down below. Number 1. His net worth. There are many factors to consider when summoning up a fighter's net worth. All of Leon's recent sponsors must have written some nice checks in order to represent a title fighter, so that is one. Another is the fight pays, which go along with some of Leon's outside ventures like management and gym. But when you put all of that together, we'd say that Edwards' net worth is somewhere around 4 to 8 million, with it only increasing in the near future as he finally begins to earn pay-per-view points as the champ. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell beside it so that you're notified the next time we upload a new video. With that being said, you just watched the lifestyle and net worth of Leon "Rocky" Edwards. We'll see you next time.